But they're at the O2 Arena. What a crowd. I didn't hear whether they mentioned the number on SmackDown. I'm pretty sure it was sold out and it was 16,000 something on Raw. So again, Jesus H. Christ. But this, and we may need to talk about this later on in the program. 3 weeks, 6 shows of this, to me, has kind of it's great to have an atmosphere like that, right? You want, oh yeah, but not 6 shows in a row where they won't stop singing and chanting to let the people talk. The people need to talk with the microphone. But I mean, it's so easy. Cody his entrance was first on SmackDown, and they're singing and they're woeing, and they wouldn't let him talk. And then finally, he says 5 words or whatever, mentions John Cena's name, and boo. And whoa, I'm going to go face to face with John Cena on Monday, and then Orton music. And they sang his song and they chanted. It was 3 minutes from the time he started coming out before he spoke. And then they started chanting for both of them. And then Orton cut a great promo, putting Cody over. He needed to leave and prove himself. And then they did more singing. Are you noticing a pattern here, Brian? It's especially with SmackDown, and I'll let you actually respond to that, but SmackDown's 3 hours and it ain't been as exciting as Raw has been. And if you condensed the singing, you might get a 2-hour show. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah, I mean, I'm sick of Boney M. Enough of this. Enough of this.
Well, you're sick of boning who? What did you?
I'm not even going to try to correct this. Boney M.
Sick of boning him?
Daddy cool. It's what they've been singing nonstop.
Well, you don't try to suck up to me now. I may be cool, or I don't know whether I'm your daddy, but who are you talking about boning?
This was the worst. Yeah.
All right, Lou, go on back to the fucking show.
I don't, you just completely derailed me, MVP. Let me think what I was trying to say.
The chanting, the singing.
The chanting, the singing, enough. That's enough. I'm ready for some bored AEW fans. I'm sick of jumping, singing fans, especially when no one could get through a promo.
And again, it's against the wrestler's law to cut people off when they're making noise like that. And I understand that for those people in those cities, this is a special deal to them, and they paid a lot of money, and they ought to be able to have as much fun as they want to have. But goddamn, it's almost like there's too much response for television. It is just, and again, I'm going to ask you by the end of this show, I'm going to ask the cult of Cornette out there to tell me whether there was an overrun or whether or not they just went off the air on the main event thing, because I'll get there.
It's our new game, overrun or no overrun.
Well, yeah, because they never overrun SmackDown. Nevertheless, Orton does a great job. He told Cody's history and he put him over. He's really comfortable speaking. And he said, I respect you. I love you. I'm proud of you. And then you're going to beat fucking Cena, and I'm going to beat Owens, and then I'm going to want to go for number 15, but I won't kick you in the balls. I'll look you in the eye and say, I'm coming for that belt. And right then, Drew's music hits, and here we had more singing and chanting. But I love Drew. Again, a couple of Nepo babies having a love fest. I think Drew McIntyre has joined Gunther in my top 5. I don't even know if I've awarded the other 3 spots yet. But Drew said Randy doesn't deserve a title shot. He ought to get to the back of the line. The fans start chanting for CM Punk. WrestleMania should be Drew against Cody, but it isn't because of Priest. And they started singing again. And then by the time Drew got to the ring, he said, I'm going to take the title from Cody, and told Randy that his back is hanging like a thread and he's going to break it. And as for you, Cody, and Cody just he just booted him and fell on his back and uppercutted him. And Orton went for the RKO and Drew slipped it and they played the music. And we were 25 minutes into the show. I'm not critiquing anybody's performances. They're all doing great here. You can't have a goddamn ambulance angle every week. I always say that either, but it just takes so fucking long because everybody's so over, they won't let them do anything. Wah. Are you speaking to me?
No, I'm not speaking. I don't know what to say. I mean, they're stars. The people are going crazy. They're enjoying being there, but
Yeah.
I'm not. I think I said it to you off air. I'm starting to really hate SmackDown. Again, it's the 3-hour show now, and that's not forever.
Yeah.
But, when you think about what was on Raw this week, which we'll talk about later, there's a few different things that I want to talk about, that I want to hear what you have to say. With SmackDown, there's a whole lot of show, and it takes forever to fill up. And I haven't enjoyed it in a while, and I don't know if I'm the only one feeling a little bit of burnout. And again, the WrestleMania build-up this year is ridiculous, and because there's another 3 weeks, because they did it at the end of April, it kind of has extended things in an unnatural way. So that
they're doing the same things on both shows just to make sure everybody catches it, and it stretches it out double the time.
But yeah, it's a rough show to get through. So yeah, it was an opening segment. I like Drew McIntyre. I agree with you. I like him a whole lot more in the mic than in the ring. Not to say anything bad about his in-ring, but on the mic, you have to watch and listen to what he's going to say. But, it was a fine segment, I guess. Future Cody, Orton stuff at some point down the road.
A fine segment. Is that like 3 stars? Is that what fine is?
I would say middle of the road. Yeah, middle of the road. It wasn't great. It wasn't awful.
Well, middle of the road would be 2 stars. That'd be like very good. If you're grading comic, good, very good, fine, mint.
If I'm going with a 5-car system, if I'm going with a 5-star system, 3 is middle of the road.
Well, who said you're going with a 5-star system?
I was using a 5-star system in my head when you said how many stars would you give it? 3 stars?
Well, no, I think we ought to go with the original that was created by Leonard Maltin. It was ripped off by me it was ripped off by me and Weasel Dooley. 4 stars. The movies get 4. You can also have a dud. There was a lot of fucking old monogram pictures were duds in Leonard Maltin's movie guide. I've still got one on the shelf or somewhere. I'll find that later.
Yeah, but anyway, there's something about them that when you start watching them, you can't look away. You have to see how did this get put on film?
Or was it film?
Middle of the road, I would say.